bring in Josh Kolsrud now to discuss. Have there been any real surprises this week? What's been your main takeaway?
Well, this is a trial that has been coming for 5 years, right? I mean, I feel so bad for the victim, but also I feel happy for him because, after 5 years, he finally gets to confront the person who shot at him and shot him 8 different times. And hopefully he'll get some closure coming from this. One of the things that I felt like was a little bit of a surprise was that the victim didn't remember anything of the incident. Now, it's incredibly powerful to see him walk to the stand because he had a walker, and, you just, as a defense attorney, when you see that, you can't argue against that. And, it's so powerful visually that it's going to have an emotional impact on the jury. So what's really going to be interesting to see is whether or not the defendant takes a witness stand, because he is the only person who can testify as an eyewitness to what happened. The 30 seconds, really, that this case comes down to, what happened during those 30 seconds. He's the only one that can tell us that. And when you have a self-defense case where you're analyzing somebody's fear, what he was feeling, what he was thinking, what was in his heart, the jury wants to hear from that person. And he's the only one that can do that. So I think that despite the fact that he has 9 prior felony convictions, the defense has already indicated that he was on parole during their opening statements. I think that he has to take the witness stand.
I think there were some comments about the case that they were showing some body camera footage, in the courtroom, and they were showing the moments before the shots rang out, and they said that Officer Moldovan had not said, "Hey, I'm a police officer," or is there, do you think we'll see more of that body camera footage and what it says, what the officer is saying and what we're hearing? So,
you said something very interesting, which was that the officer may not have indicated that he was an officer. And that's important because Arizona has a very specific statute that deals with self-defense and police officers. And the first part of the statute says that the person has to be identified as a police officer. You don't actually have to say it, but if you're wearing a uniform, it's presumed that the person would know that that's you. Now, in Arizona, self-defense works differently with police officers. So everybody kind of knows what self-defense is. If you're at a bar, someone throws a punch at you and you throw a punch back, that's self-defense. But with police officers, you cannot fight back. And you're supposed to fight in the courtroom, unless, and there's a very narrow exception, it's excessive force. It's illegal force. And that's the narrow exception that the defense is trying to thread the needle here on. And so what do they have? They said that the officer was called to really a misdemeanor traffic violation, doing donuts in the parking lot, but they over-responded with a police helicopter, and they're saying that would make anybody who had 9 prior felony convictions and on parole feel like maybe their safety was in danger, their fear was in danger, their life was in danger. So that's what the defense is trying to prove here.
Well, so could the case literally depend on whether or not he identified himself as a police officer? If the defense's argument is the defendant feared for his life and that's why he opened fire, could it literally hinge on that?
It could, but the defense hasn't made that argument. I was expecting them to do it during opening statements if they were going to do that, but they didn't. They didn't say that the defendant, Mr. Williams, didn't believe that it was an officer. In fact, their argument is that he knew it was an officer, and that was the issue. That he felt like his life was in danger in that moment because of his previous contacts with police officers, the fact that he was cornered, that they had a police helicopter for a minor misdemeanor, and so they've kind of embraced the fact that he was an officer.
Josh, we have to take a quick break. Will you hang with us for a little?